Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
Hey, it's Sterling K. Brown from the Hulu original series Paradise. The next chapter begins as Xavier's search for his wife takes him above ground, and what he finds will change everything. It was never just about the bunker. Tune in and discover the truth lies outside. Paradise, the official podcast, is now streaming, and stream Paradise on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Teach, Sleep, Repeat. My name is Dylan.
And my name's Hayden.
Why are you being so negative, boys? Why are you doing the red flag episode again, boys? What you doing, lads?
Straight in. Go on, straight in.
Well, I just thought it'd be quite an interesting thing to do. We've not done it before.
Yeah, and we are so negative. Yeah, not done it before. Go on, Dylan, give the context. Why are we here doing this again?
Listen, I did a post recently on Instagram about all of the things people have written into us about things that happen in their school that they think are red flag policies, horrendous, etc. I think it's good to post because you get to see what's actually going on in other schools. So people will say, why are you doing this? Oh, you're so negative. You're making out the depression to be awful. That's not on me. That's on the people doing these awful things. Like, you're just talking about all the negative stuff. Yeah, of course I am. Because I'm not implementing them.
Oh, but it barely ever happens. Well,
see our inbox.
Yeah.
See our inbox. And do you know what? If it barely ever happens, that's good. But it shouldn't be happening at all.
Yeah.
So there are two ways to think about this, in my opinion. If you're listening to this and you work in a fantastic school with none of this, buckle up. You get to listen to what other schools are like. And also, if you move schools in the future, you get to see actually it's something to keep an eye out for and to understand that it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
But there's another group of people, right, Hayden? People who are in schools right now who literally are almost like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. They're having a terrible time, and it's good to vindicate them and show them, oh, by the way, you're not alone, for a start. And also, by the way, your gut feeling on this thing being extremely toxic and horrendous is right.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's other people that are experiencing these horrible toxic things as well. And we're going to out them and talk about them, and hopefully you feel a bit better. It might even help you make an informed decision about what to do next.
Yeah, especially if you're like a newer teacher. Because again, I was a brand new teacher, first school I ever worked in. There were a lot of things going on that were bad. And I kind of just thought, this must be what the job is.
What it is.
I didn't really think much about it until I now look back and I think, holy moly. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right?
pretty poor.
So yes, we're not just horrible, negative people hate teaching. We don't hate teaching.
We are a bit, but we're not just that.
yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to go through now. We had loads of comments from people. Let's do this, Hayden. Red flags galore. Off you go.
Cool. Oh, first one for me. When I first started training to be a TA at college years ago, the first school I worked in had a huge staff room. I went for lunch one day and sat at this huge table. Everything's huge. 3 teachers walked in and one said, "Excuse me, why are you sat there? This table is just for teachers. Teaching assistants and other help sit over in the alcove."
Oh, the alcove.
I asked if he was joking. He wasn't. I asked the TA why this was, and he said it has just always been like that. Bizarre.
Oh, sorry. It's always been like that. I guess we just leave that as it is then.
Yeah.
That seems like a good enough reason for things to be the way they
All
are.
of history tells us that's a good thing to do.
We should never change anything ever, apparently. It's always been that way. Like I'm just imagining them under an alcove, like benched over. Like, all right?
And there's
Yeah,
so much space.
We're in the alcove. Yeah. The only thing that's small in this staff room is this alcove, actually. We're going to come in. How insane is that?
It's just ridiculous. Like, it's like what sort of red flags? It's a weird one actually, because that's like most red flags I do find are like school-wide policies and top-down stuff. But that one to me is like there's some really horrible people that work there, like teachers and stuff. Like clearly just not a nice environment to be in.
But I can't imagine looking at another person, who is just a human being, and thinking, you shouldn't be on my table.
Yeah.
Why? Simply because of the job you do. What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
That's
it's a
insane.
bit mental.
And do you know what? I've heard a lot as well. Obviously, here is awful, talking about teaching assistants, etc. Something that I see that is more common than this, even, which is awful, is student teachers.
Yeah, that's
Student teachers,
more
people
common,
who
isn't
come
it?
in and they're they're not even working there yet necessarily, but they're like a PGC student or they're on a placement for a few weeks, and like they're not even allowed in the staff room.
Yeah,
they're not even allowed in.
Yeah.
It's like, where do they go? Like, what are you talking about? And what kind of a message are we sending to the next generation of teachers? Like, I think there's too many people in the education system who have only ever been in the education system. Like they went to school, they went to university, they came back immediately as the teacher. I was like, you do need to enter the real world as well, though, right? And there's not just this hierarchy. I'm a teacher, and that means I'm above you. I get this huge table. Grow up.
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you need to be taken down a peg? Clearly.
Yeah, definitely. Go any other workplace. Realistically, that's not a thing. It's like you're just a colleague.
Yeah.
Just colleagues, people that aren't the literal children in the school, just have this other space they can use that is child free.
Yeah.
You can all use it. Like, ridiculous.
And do you know what? Half the time I didn't have time to go in the staff room anyway.
Yeah.
Never mind like lay down these laws of who can sit where. Like,
Exactly.
what are we talking about? You can't sit on a bloody table because you're a teacher's assistant.
Yeah.
What are we doing? So that's a huge red flag. Like you said, you made the interesting point there of the difference of a red flag school policy and just like a red flag like vibe.
Yeah, vibe. I just don't want to work there. Like, I don't want to work with those people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think if I was the teaching assistant, I'd just sit on that table and wait. I think I'd wait for someone to be like, are you actually going to enforce this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what is that teacher going to do? Go to the head?
do you know the best?
Miss! Miss! She sat on the table! Like,
honey, they're for everyone. Those tables, it's okay.
But miss, I've got a diploma. I've got a diploma. I've got a PGCE.
I've been teaching you for 10 years, and you said anyone under 3 years can't sit here.
Oh, my
All right,
goodness,
okay.
man.
Do you know the best thing, like advice I think I ever heard of when you have those situations and it's just awkward, bit rude, is to pretend to have not heard them and ask them to repeat it. I think maybe we've said that before, but because it really makes people think about the thing they've just kind of instinctively said and how potentially rude it is.
What's good for insults?
Yeah.
Like, so if someone just insults you, you just go, sorry,
What was that?
what was that? And everyone's quiet then.
Yeah.
And then you make them say something horrible again. It's
Again.
like, oh. But then if they do it again, you just say, oh, that's mean. Just make them feel like, and no one's laughing.
Yeah.
Just cut through them.
Yeah.
Cut through them.
Sorry, Dylan. You're a TAs can't actually sit on this table.
Sorry, what? Say that again?
Oh, everyone's looking at me now. Nah, don't worry about it.
Or everyone's looking at me now. Everyone, make sure we all know.
Let's say it in unison, guys.
No, TAs at the
table. Get in the
TAs go to the
alcove. And
Some
they
kind of cool,
squish their necks because it's tiny. Get in there.
Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Go on,
Let's
do
go
the
to the next one. In one of my first posts, we weren't allowed to attend a medical appointment without first disclosing the full details of our medical issues to the head teacher.
Turns out the head teacher had another job. He was also, or she was also, the doctor. So in that case, it's fine. No, that's mental.
What did you do when you went to your baldness appointment?
I had said, I'm
Did you
sorry.
disclose it?
I rang him up and said, I'm sorry, doctor. I know I've got to be there in a second, but I need to go tell my head teacher, and it's Saturday, so I'm just give me a minute.
And you go to your teacher, I'm like, I don't feel really comfortable disclosing this. Is it about the hair? Yeah, it's already been disclosed.
We already know. We already know, good sir.
Someone commented on this, and I'm pretty sure this is true. They replied to this comment saying, like, pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah, I think it is.
Like,
right?
what do you mean? What are you on about? Why? Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you know what? I can make up. I can make up. I think the scenario that's probably happened here. Ready?
Yep.
In this school, lots of people had medical appointments.
Yep.
To the point where the head teacher thought, "God, this is quite a lot." I wonder if anyone's taken the mick. They may have or may not have found out that someone was maybe taking the mick a little bit and they didn't really have it. They were just going on holiday or something.
Yeah.
And from that point thought, I'll never let this happen again. From now on, you have to tell me exactly what your medical appointment is so I can catch you out or not.
Yeah.
I reckon that's what happened.
Why does that head think they've got the power to do that though? Why does that head think they've got the power to switch it in their favor? Like, just because something's got a part of the system that doesn't work necessarily for them. In this case, medical appointments being anonymized means some people might take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Okay, just because you see that as a head doesn't give you the power to flip everything on its head then and make everyone have to disclose to you to try and get rid of that one thing.
Yeah.
All you've done there is switch where the problem is. In the first situation, the issue is some people are taking the piss and using medical appointments to get some time off they shouldn't have. But the vast majority of people are just going to their medical appointments.
Yeah, exactly.
You as a teacher have flipped this over and you're like, caught you out. You don't have proof. Thank you very much. You can't go on holiday now. And now 80% of your staff have to tell you you've got gonorrhea. Like, is that better?
Why has everyone got gonorrhea in the school?
Well, that's another one. Whether that's a red flag or not, it's decide on. But the point is, it doesn't mean you can just flip. That doesn't mean you have the power suddenly. Something can be frustrating and annoying as a leader.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can then make everyone disclose their medical information
Exactly
to
that.
you.
Do you know what you should do? Just be petty. Obviously, the real thing to do there is tell them that you're not doing that. It's ridiculous. But if you're going to just go along with it, just get everyone to agree that when they have to go to this meeting, they have to say to the head teacher, workload stress. It's just work stress. And then just really terrify that head teacher.
Yeah, or piles.
Or piles.
Or everyone's got
If you're
pile.
trying to be honest,
Yeah.
piles.
What's the seventh. I can't even get my words out. Occurrence of piles in the last month.
This is crazy.
It's crazy. Just get some anusol on it and move on.
Yeah.
Right, next one. We had a whole display policy until the start of this school year. Quickly just cutting in here. This is why it's real and it's important to still talk about this. Because I feel like education in the mid 2010s was a really toxic place to be. And there was lots and lots of this.
It really was, wasn't it?
Really, really bad in terms of this kind of micro like aggression and control. But it still happens. So until the start of this school year, we were only allowed to back on black paper. Had to be 2 centimeters. Why is it 2 centimeters width? Always.
Yeah, always.
Names had to be printed and stuck in the right-hand corner. Don't know where to stick
Not
names.
the left-hand corner.
No, don't you bloody dare put that name in the left-hand corner. The left is for the devil. Put it on the right. And our head would go round and check all displays when she observed.
Right.
Needless to say, this changed when the power crazy head left. Good riddance to that policy.
Yeah. That's a big red flag. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. That's the kind of thing where I'm like, if I walked around a school or if I was in a school and this was happening, I'd be screaming to everybody else if they didn't realize it. But guys, this is really, really like toxic. Well, not even toxic is not the right word. This is just a bad policy that
It's toxic.
It's bad. Is it toxic? I don't know.
What are you saying is toxic or not?
Yeah. I guess so.
Like, if that's not toxic, like, what are we saving actual toxicity for that? Like, the head is like feeding you a toxic paste. Like, is that the only thing that's toxic?
No, the toxic waste sweets that I used to love as a kid. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I want to explore that now. Why do I not think that's toxic? Toxic to me is like spiteful.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to reserve that for like the extreme ones. This to me is just a really rubbish management policy.
Do you think this, given your medical, details, is toxic?
Oh,
That's toxic. As
yeah,
hell.
I think so. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty toxic.
100%.
Yeah. But anyway, in this situation, massive red flag.
Mhm.
What? Yeah.
It's not based on anything, is it?
No.
It's solely based on the arrogance and ego of the head.
Yeah.
So that I think that's where it's different, right?
Does it impact anything? Like, could you go to this? Be interesting because the answer is no. Could you go to 2 schools?
Thought experiment. Going to take the actual answer now.
Thought experiment. I'm just going to preface this with the answer, which is no, by the way. So good luck thinking about it. Could you go into 2 schools where everything's the same except for their display policy and it actually makes a measurable impact on children in a different way? Of course not. Of course not. It doesn't matter. All it's done is make one school have to do a bit more work and annoyance with one thing that's irrelevant to their job of teaching kids.
Yeah, that's such a good point. When the outcome for the children is no different, but the amount of time teachers and staff have to put into maintaining that policy is massively out of kilter, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact that when that teacher went, the power, I'm going to use your words, the person who commented, power crazy head. When they left, the fact it got rid of showed how utterly pointless it was.
Yeah.
It's insane. We talked about displays a lot.
Yeah.
They come up for me. I think that is massively toxic to me.
I agree.
Micromanaging displays. Like, if you're that asked about what a display looks like, just do it yourself.
Genuinely.
Do it yourself.
Do it
Insane.
yourself. Do all of them. Whole school. Here's another one. I've had to chuck this one in. This was from Instagram, but it's also related to displays. I thought we'd do back to back. So this person said, we had to have fabric draped from displays in shared areas. Each year group had a border colour for displays and every subject a specific backing colour.
Oh my God.
My favourite of all, though, was, and this is different, 35 centimetres of cloud paper for the handwriting display. Basically, they hadn't ordered enough, so we had to share 1 or 2 roles between 14 classrooms. Thankfully, I no longer work in this school because of the bullying that went on there. So there's like a whole separate thing there. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah. We don't have any ridiculous policies like this in my current school. So,
They always seem to go hand in hand, don't they?
yeah.
To me, right? Anything that's intricate like this about displays and stuff and how it looks goes hand in hand with a bullying culture of like top down, like do this or else. Because there's only one reason you're forcing your staff to do that, and it's control.
Mm-hmm.
How on earth will I know this is a geography display if the backing paper's not purple? I don't know. Maybe the massive thing that says rivers across the top. Maybe that's enough for me to understand this. Or maybe the huge title that says geography. Maybe that's enough for a child to understand.
In Dylan's world, did you not know there's only one topic in geography, and that's rivers? So if you see a river, you know it's geography automatically. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if this is a maths display or an English display. Oh no, the numbers. Maybe that's enough rather than having to have red in the back. Like, I just don't know. Oh, I don't know what adding fractions is. And so, it's red. Oh, thank goodness me. I know it's maths now. Oh my goodness.
And you just know there's that extra layer of toxicity here where we know they said they didn't even order enough. You just know that the person who didn't order enough will come round and say, why isn't that in the cloud the cloud paper, knowing full well they did not order enough for everybody, and they'll still have the audacity to say that.
Or pretend that they did only want 35 centimeters for each class. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. Did you not order enough? No.
Oh God, it's just horrendous, isn't it? Like I don't even know what to say. Like the display, how many times go back to our Q&A on Monday because we mentioned displays and we hinted towards this conversation. It's just clearly such a problem still because so many people talk about it.
I want to go back to the whole drape thing very quickly about something being draped across. I vividly remember in the first school we worked at, we all had to have something draped across. There was like, 'cause it looks nice for the book corner or something. That weekend, the fire alarm went off repeatedly. And the site manager had to come in, put it off because it was just getting rid of it. It was just like setting off the fire alarms. So that got binned straight away.
And I distinctly remember it was specifically my classroom as well.
Was it your
Yeah. I don't know if it was that the exact time.
Yeah.
We happened a few times.
Yeah.
Do you also remember when they decided to this particular school that every single corridor needed like draped like material across the ceiling?
Yeah.
And eventually they found out that it broke fire safety protocol or something like that. Something happened where they were like, actually we can't do this. But they spent ages putting it all up.
Do you remember that time as well at the school where their teacher walked into your class and ripped down your display because it was old?
That was pretty funny.
In the middle of the lesson.
That made me feel good.
Yeah, that was really good.
I liked when they did that in the middle of a lesson where they already made me feel anxious because they were already toxic.
Oh, it's funny. It was funny. And the same one where loads of adults actually left because of work-related stress.
By the time I hit my 50s, I'd learned a few things, like how family is precious. Work can always wait. And 99% of people over 50 already have the virus that causes shingles. Not everyone at risk will develop it, but I did. The painful, blistering rash disrupted my life for weeks. Don't learn about your shingles risk the hard way. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
Basically, they've had a whole 100% turnover in 5 years.
That was quite
good times.
Yeah.
Anyways,
next one. In my first teaching post, teachers were in all weekend before Ofsted, and I was told I wasn't dedicated to my job for going to a football match on the Saturday afternoon. I mean, it's pretty selfish having a life.
Yeah, especially when Ofsted are coming in.
Ofsted are coming in. To give up all of your time, please.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, mental. And do
you
you
think there's anything to the dedication? Do you think there's any hint that if you don't give up just a bit of your time before Ofsted are coming, is there any truth in that at all?
I don't think there's truth to dedication.
No,
I don't think that's true.
No,
that's just that people are clutching at straws there. I think it might be an indicator for someone being utterly fed up with their job. Genuinely, because if I was remotely pleased in any job ever, right, and there was this huge, vital, important thing that happens once every few years that affects all of us and everyone I care about in this job that I love, I think I wouldn't even I would obviously just naturally care enough to want to do those things. I just would. I think most people do. I think there's a reason most people probably will just do a bit of extra work. But even in this, I'm just implying, I guess, that this person was in on the weekend. They just had a football match at one point to go to. They might have even done some time on the other day of the week.
Of course they have. It goes without saying they do extra all the time.
So when someone has the audacity to say, "Oh, you're not dedicated to this job for not doing that," it's like, mate, get in the bin.
Yeah, get a life.
That is ridiculous. What a stupid statement to make. Have you seen what I've been doing forever before this moment for this job? And
haven't you? I've found as well in every Ofsted I've been involved with, which is one, on every single one of them I've been involved with, though, that the panic and the loads of time beforehand and get working at all hours of the day that you possibly can to get stuff ready almost never transpires to actually being useful when the actual person comes in.
Yeah.
Like you're getting all this stuff ready, you're working really hard. You can't actually fake a lot of it.
No.
So like I think genuinely half the time the best thing to do is maybe do a couple of hours of stuff, maybe just get your ducks in a row, know where stuff is.
Yeah.
Then leave it.
Genuinely.
It be. You're not gonna move the dial.
We wrote like a bullet point list, remember?
Yeah.
Of stuff that we just wanted to make sure we got across.
Yeah, in the maths.
I remember
we led maths,
and we did. And do you know what? We did happily do extra work on the prep for Ofsted. You were literally not even meant to be in.
I was on maternity leave.
Yeah, maternity leave, were you?
Yeah.
On maternity leave, I think it was maternity.
Maternity leave.
Get your words right, teacher.
That person who's still angry from Monday's episode where we talked about saying, can't wait to clip this. The teacher doesn't even know the difference between maternity.
I love that this voice is Robert. I'm starting to do the voice now.
I sort of shake my lips like.
Yeah.
Getting
anyway,
angry.
but just to be clear, we did that without even thinking about it.
Yeah,
because we care about, because we worked in a nice school and we care about the people. We cared about the outcomes ourselves. Like, of course, nothing to do with
but were
my
we up
dedication.
All night? Were we up all night as well?
No, of course we weren't up all night.
If I had football that night,
yeah,
do you know what? I probably still would have gone.
Yeah, of course I would.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
and if we didn't do anything, in our school, no one even would have said anything. That's the beauty of it. If they did, I probably wouldn't have done it out of spite.
Yeah, 100%.
If I knew they would have been like calling me up at 7 p.m. saying to do this thing, honestly, out of to making a point, I would have been like, no.
Well, do you know what the perfect example of that is? That I was literally on paternity leave.
Yeah.
My son was 12 days old, right? And before anyone, like, there were people listening to that going, that's awful, you shouldn't do anything ever. It was absolutely fine. He was sleeping most of the day. Lauren was with her mum. They were together. I went into school for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
To touch base with people. I did nothing else.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Then the next day they came in. I went in the morning for 2 to 3 hours and spoke to the guy. It was no skin off my back. And also it meant that I'd been putting years and years into leading maths. I just wanted to represent our school in the best way possible. I didn't do hours and hours and hours of extra prep. And you know what? I've worked in 2 schools. I would not have done that in the other school.
Yeah. No way.
I wouldn't have thought about it. I would have absolutely out of principle, but no, not doing that at all. And for this school, again, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'll reward my school. Aren't they so lovely? I was just in the zone where I just thought, that this is my subject. I'm entrusted with it. I want to put something across. I want it to be the best possible outcome for everyone involved. Yeah. And it was like it was nothing.
No.
It was nothing, genuinely. So I don't know, like you weren't on maternity, so maybe you did more work than I did in that period.
Not much. I did a little bit more, purely for the fact that I wasn't on maternity. You know what I mean? You also went on maternity. You keep saying maternity.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sorry. But I also had a bit when I knew I was doing it with you.
Yeah.
That played into my head a bit. It was like, well, it's just Hayden otherwise, and I also want to just take a little bit of that burden off because he's going to deep dive maths.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was very pleased. Like, I absolutely did not want to say to you, you should come in because to show you're dedicated to the job, and no one did. The head teacher didn't say anything.
And he gave me time in lieu as well.
Yeah, he gave you time in lieu, and he was extremely thankful for the fact you did it off your own back. Do you know what I mean? Like, so,
and he did not expect it.
Yeah, no, I think.
All.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? I think.
And do you know what? It was nice to get 3 hours. After having 10 days of like nothing, it was true. And Lauren was really good. She was basically saying, "Oh, you should definitely go." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Do you know what?
Fortunately for us, nice Ofsted inspector. Yeah, very reasonable. We didn't do loads of extra prep. I'm glad we didn't because he wasn't interested in half the stuff. Even the small amount of stuff we had prepped, he wasn't interested. He just wanted to go and look up maths.
Yeah, and talk to us
and listen to us. Yeah. and think, do these things marry up? That was it. Yeah. He was like, "You guys have told me all this stuff that your school does. I'm going to go and see if it does. Then if it doesn't, we have to have another conversation about this because you're clearly just bullshitting. Yeah. And if it does, then cool, job was good and happy days.
Absolutely.
That was it. That's what happened.
And it did match up.
Yeah. So, is it a red flag if you're being told, though, that you're not dedicated to the job for not coming in and prepping for Ofsted? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely, right?
Definitely.
Next one. We got told today that we should use our lunch times to have attendance/pastoral conversations. Unions have been emailed.
Straight away, they know. There's no advice being asked for here.
Yeah, exactly. They already know. They're just just sharing. This is a red flag. If you're being told...
Should.
Yeah, you should use.
Use.
Yeah, you should use your lunch times to do anything. No.
Should.
No. My break? No. Shouldn't be. I can do what I want in it. I could do it if I wanted to. Could do it. I might do.
Okay. I'm going to push back then. Ever so slightly. You've got to do them at some point, which is not in directed time. So, leaders or someone saying that you should do it at any point, are you just saying blanketly that's wrong and I should decide when? Or is there something to be said that actually there is a best time to be doing this in the day for the other people on the end of these conversations? If it's between lunchtimes or after school, actually we get more traction when we do it at lunchtime. So I'm just going to say to my staff, you've got to do this anyway. I can't direct you when to do it, but you should be doing it at this point because you get more, it will actually save you time. You'll get more push through. We've seen before parents are more likely to answer at this time.
If you do all that and replace it with the word could, I'd be happier. Do you know what I mean?
So is it a semantics thing?
No, it's not a semantic. I think it's the meaning that comes behind it genuinely. Because if you actually said that to your staff and you were saying, look, it is in undirected time, blah, 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 everything you said, you could do it this time. I personally would do it here because I think it's a good time at lunchtime. I'm not going to direct you to do it because you're lunchtime. That honestly to me is fine. They're just giving their professional suggestion. We're all accepting that the job is a bit crazy and there's other stuff to do outside of directed time, whatever. But when someone is saying, I'm making you feel bad about, or you should be doing this,
directing you.
They're directing you. Yeah, when someone's actually directing you, and the meaning behind that is, I'm telling you what to do in your directed time, that's when it's a red flag to me. So even though it is kind of down to semantics, it's kind of important because I think there's a big difference between the meaning behind it.
When it always makes me laugh when someone said, oh, it's just semantics. Oh, so it's just every conversation ever. What is discussion if not semantics?
Exactly. Right.
Oh, so it's just the words I use, is it? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because you could have used different words which mean different things.
Yeah, exactly that.
So, of course, it's important.
But yes, that is a red flag. I'm going to go to the next one because I've skimmed ahead and I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
Our school asked us to put big red stickers on the book. Dylan's already facepalming for those that aren't watching. Our school asked us to put big red stickers on the books of children who were pupil premium, so they were easy to identify in book looks. Come on, because some people probably listen to that thinking that's a good idea.
There
useful.
are so many levels to this as to why I'm just exasperating. Start with the first one.
Right.
Book looks in general. Right. The vast majority of the time are just a tick box exercise to make it look as if someone's doing a job they need to do to justify a TLR they're not getting. It's half the time. It's just, I've got to do a book this week. Give me those free.
Yeah.
Give me those random books. Let me just see. It's like, oh my God. Like, there's only so much you can get out of a book look, honestly.
I
Like,
agree.
if you're just looking at what marking looks like, then fair enough. I think that's a waste of time anyway. But if you're looking at what's in a lesson, why are you doing a book look?
Yeah.
Like what?
There's so many better
much
ways
can go
to
on.
see that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the first thing. Second thing, pupil premium having a big red sticker on them. It's like, like I'm not going to make any comparisons to things that are much worse. I'm sure people are thinking about stuff straight away. But labeling anyone as a thing with a big sticker that makes it obvious what they are is obviously a ridiculous thing to do.
Oh no, sorry, Dylan. I don't think you understand the nuance. We did stickers because we didn't want the children to see that we've written pupil premium on it, so we did stickers because it's more anonymous.
Why have those kids got red things there? Are they always in groups and do extra things? Oh, well, I don't know. Like, if anything, it's the most obvious thing for a child to see is a big sticker. Like, if you worked with children ever, they pick those up.
They don't know what it means.
No, certainly not.
Okay.
No,
And
but-
just also, sorry, the implication that that it's needed to like identify them, as if there aren't other ways before you do a book look to know which children are people premium. It's just so stupid to me. It's a time saver. Is it just get the one spreadsheet up that has the information on it and pick from there? Like, what do we really need the stickers on the books to know?
And do you know what? As a teacher, and I don't mind saying this, I'm going to use the word should because it is semantics. You should know your pupil premium kids.
You should.
Because there are things in place. They get extra funding for a reason. There'll be stuff in place for them that they get. And you know what? It's just the kind of thing as a teacher that it's good to have that in your head.
Exactly. Right.
So do you know, if someone was to ask me when I was teaching, we're doing a book look, can you grab me a middle achiever and a pupil premium? I'd know my pupil premium, right? Or if I don't know them, like you said, even just have it in a little book.
Yeah, exactly.
That you can
Somewhere
open yourself,
accessible,
or
basically.
somewhere on your desktop.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to be putting a big red sticker on the books of kids. Do we? Do we need to be doing that really? Like, it's just insane. So it's all embedded in the fact of book looks that I think are pointless in the first place. But then to put a red sticker as like, I personally hate this whole thing where, you know, progress is more important if kids are in a certain group. I just don't like it.
Yeah,
I just hate it. I just think fundamentally that it should be down to things outside of that. Like you can draw general you can have trends and ideas, and I like that. In general, children who are pupil premium are in general behind and in general need more support.
Yeah.
And they get their funding to do that, and as a school it's important that's in place. I completely agree with that. But even within pupil premium funding, how many times would you know, this happened before where a teacher has said, "Oh, I've got little Jenny and she's pupil premium, thankfully, and she's great at depth." Just think for a minute what you're saying. You're looking at a child who's really achieving well and saying to yourself, "Yes, that'll look good on pupil premium data."
Yeah.
As it's made up. You didn't do anything. She came up to you at that ability. So that child should get what every child at greater depth's getting, because they need that.
Yeah.
And then the children who are lower, you'd have another child who's lower and one's pupil premium, one isn't. And I can guarantee you most people feel the pressure to make sure that pupil premium child moves quicker than the other one.
Of course they do.
I hate that.
I've done a maths group in the past. I'm not going to say when or what school, but I have done a maths group in the past where I had to change out. Bearing in mind, the kids I picked the maths group were obviously the best pick because I'm the maths teacher and I know who needed the help, right?
Based on simply what they can and can't do and what intervention they
I
need.
picked those kids because they are the kids that needed the help. It is as straightforward as that. There's no argument with that, right? I had to swap out some of the kids because there were no pupil premium children in that group, and we had to show that we're making an impact to pupil premium kids. But I could only do this one group. So what ended up happening was, rather than just the 6 kids that needed this help in this specific thing the most, I had to not help 2 of those kids in place of 2 other kids who didn't need the help as much, but they had the pupil premium label. And that, to me, I was like, I still don't even know how to navigate that, because I'm sort of like, everything you said about pupil premium and the fact they get the funding and they, like, it needs to be evidenced and they do need to get this extra stuff. But in that situation, they didn't need that help. These other kids did. And I didn't get to give it to those other kids because of the system.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know what like the right thing is to do.
Well, I think we do know what the right thing is to do.
Not
Don't we?
that.
Yeah. Give the support that as a professional you said that the class needs.
It's just mental.
And then those children, maybe they need support in something else. But maybe it doesn't lend itself to that group of that intervention you were doing at that time.
Yeah.
But it becomes an either or. It's like, sure, those children need that support and we can maybe use that extra funding to do. But school doesn't work like that. What do you mean use the extra funding to do that? It's going to be a half-hour intervention once a week.
Yeah.
Like, what are we just adding that onto someone's like pay packet? You're not getting extra funding for it.
Yeah,
like, what do we mean use?
When
like,
am I going to do it?
It's just, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
You have to come from fundamentally, what do the children need for their academia?
Yeah, literally.
Like, what support do they need? The fact we're coming at it from a different angle at all just undermines the process. And then those kids they're left behind a bit because they don't have that tag.
And pupil premium groups, like what this whole thing is kind of implying to, I always found odd anyway, because it was like being pupil premium, although there is a correlation, like you said there, like clearly, like, you know, there's a, we can generalize about pupil, you know, what they get
Percentage
and the provision
expected
they have, right?
exactly,
like we can on like a macro scale. But generally, like when it's, okay, you've got 6 pupil premium children in your class, they need a group. To me, I never actually had a situation where it was like, oh yes, all these 6 pupil premium children, that means they have these same gaps and this understanding they don't have.
Yeah.
It was never true.
Yeah.
They were always just all over the place, like in terms of what they knew and what they didn't know where their gaps were. I could never do a group with pupil premium. It didn't make any sense.
No, not at all. Not at all, completely. And it frustrated me, and it's good to know, and you can put support in place when they need it, etc. But it just became like a tick box.
Yeah.
That I think sometimes made my provision worse. Because I was altering my provision from what I thought was the base level. Just if no one had anything ever, I'd be doing this.
Yeah.
But because this came in, okay, well, I'll do that instead.
Got to change it now. Yeah.
By definition, that's not what I would have done.
Yeah.
Without the information.
To me, I don't know about you, but like with the fact that pupil premium comes with funding, right? I just can't see, other than like more holistic stuff, when it comes down to like maths and English, core subjects and things, like that funding to me is like they either get one-to-one support with that funding or not.
Yeah.
Like the whole group thing to me, it just never worked. Like they can be in groups with other children who have the same gaps as them.
Yeah.
But when you do this is a pupil premium group, I just found that didn't work. Like those kids had individual needs. And if they're coming with funding, they need individual like one-to-one help with those things.
Well, but I think that's just an indication of like maybe the system's a bit weird, because I don't necessarily think that's the right way to go about it. Because I think personally the right way to go about it would be to total up your pupil premium. Let's say your entire school in general have like even like a 40%, let's say. Sure. You get X amount of money as a school. Yeah. And then the school just spend that money to enhance provision. And what I don't kind of like is that provision can enhance everyone. But there'll be people out there saying, no, that provision needs to enhance exactly these 40% children somehow. And it's like, do you know what? If you get pupil premium provision, and as a result of that, it means you can hire an extra teacher in each year group, and therefore the ratios in the classes are lower, and you're able to hit the needs of the children more specifically than before. Just because you can't look at the exact 40% getting exactly this because of that, I don't necessarily think that's a bad use of that money.
Yeah, me neither.
So I get it because it's frustrating, because you need to account for the money and say it's doing this and this and this. But when you're talking about an economic background as a reason why you're getting more money in a school, what can I do for just those 40%? Like go on a trip, that's maybe some enrichment and things like that. Okay,
which is lovely.
That makes sense as well, because these children, by definition, are coming from a poorer socioeconomic background, are less likely to get these things. Doing something nice for just them, absolutely, that makes sense. But what you're talking about and we're talking about here is when that seeps into the an English lesson, a maths lesson. It has to come from what the professional thinks the children need support in first. It cannot come from there's a group first, do something for them. Yeah. Because like you said, am I getting a bit of this funding then? Yeah. Does this fund this thing I'm doing? No, it doesn't. It's just, there's pressure from the top down to make it look like these are making progress so we can justify what we're doing with the money. Yeah. So the system, I'd say,
so good.
The system itself, I think, is broken because it ends up with that being the case, rather than it going towards maybe those things like enrichment, playground activities, etc., which seem to make more sense. If it's just about academia, it doesn't work unless you're doing a plan one-to-one for each kid.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection and a welcome offer of 200,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, so everything you said there is what I was trying to say, but way better.
Yeah,
way more in depth. Because
yeah.
by the end of it, you got to the kind of end of my thought train.
Yeah.
Which was like, so realistically, in the academic sense, unless you're literally doing one-to-one where you can tangibly say this money exclusively went to this child, these people premium.
Yeah.
Then it kind of has to go to everyone, or it doesn't, and it impacts us in other ways, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the funding for running this people premium group. I'm just a teacher. I'm literally, all that's happened now is the kids that I were going to help, who needed the most help, now don't ironically get it.
Yeah.
Because I have to show the progress to the people premium kids to justify the funding that I'm not getting to do it. It's just a weird cycle, and I always found that in my career. And I've never met anyone who's cracked that. Genuinely, I don't know a single teacher or head teacher I've ever spoken to who's given me a situation. I've gone, oh god, that is it. That's the best way to approach pupil premium funding.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So if you know it, write in, let us know, because I really don't know what the answer is to that.
No, completely. Very interesting. I don't think, though, the answer is putting a big red sticker on Pupil Premium, but
no.
Don't think that's the answer, actually. Next one. I know an ex-colleague whose mum passed, and the place we used to work at asked if she could move the funeral as it was scheduled on a tricky day. She didn't, and we've both left since.
No way.
Sorry. Yeah, I know that's sad. I understand. Yeah. Oh, I know. Grief. When's the funeral? Because I heard it's on a Thursday. Thursday is not a very good day for cover.
Oh,
Can you move it?
So bad.
What?
Right.
Sorry.
The reason that's a red flag is it's awful. No, because any human being with even just a small moral compass would not let anything override the fact that that person is going through horrendous grief that their mum's just passed away. And no matter how inconvenient it is for you in that moment, a rule of law of being a moral human is you don't say that. You don't say, oh, could we move it? Can we move the funeral? Because, and then insert, honest to God, any reason work related. It's ridiculous.
Is that trickier than the day being tricky for it being when you're burying someone's mum?
Yes, exactly.
Is that trickier?
Oh, God.
It's a tricky day. Oh, my goodness. Life is too short.
Yeah.
And there are too many people who firstly think that's acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. If someone's mother's funeral's on a certain day, you get over it as an employer.
Yeah.
It's the end of discussion. There's nothing more important. Secondly, and I think this is sad, there are some people who will have that said to them who will then feel like they're letting their school down.
Yep.
Oh, I can't say this enough to you right now. And if you're this person, I'm telling you to your ears this instant, you are not remotely at all responsible for anything to do with that school on a day when this is happening.
No.
Remotely. There is nothing at all that you can do. Look, I'm going to try and push it to the absolute nth degree. If there's a couple of days that you can choose for a funeral, and there's absolutely no difference on who can make the funeral and pay their respects to this human being who's passed away, unfortunately, and there is absolutely nothing different between 2 days.
Yeah, you just get to pick.
And you just get to pick, and there's genuinely nothing that can affect you at all. Probably you'd pick the day, then you'd think about other people. At that point, maybe you'd think, do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I'm just going to pick this day because it's more convenient in general, and there's nothing else. That doesn't exist. That doesn't happen.
No.
The funeral directors give you a date and you say yes. You don't barter with the funeral directors.
Yeah.
Unless you maybe can't make that day for a very specific reason. There's so many things that come before the workplace.
Considering your work, yeah.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah,
it's so far down on the list that I think there's probably no situation ever where it's remote. And for the school to initiate it as well. Never.
I'm sorry to that person.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Sorry on behalf of...
I'm glad they left.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always found that weird when people say sorry when it's not their fault.
Yeah, it's just like an empathy sorry, isn't it?
Completely. But
I feel so sorry for you that I almost feel like I have to apologize for this other person. That's how bad. Like it's like an exaggeration thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But I remember growing up thinking, I'm not sorry. Mine didn't do it.
Yeah,
But that's just that's a me problem.
that's the Dylan thing, I think.
That's a very Dylan thing, I think. But yeah, I am sorry, genuinely, because it is like I understand what the word actually means, and that is awful. Okay, let's do the next one. Email this week saying if we're off sick, it puts extra stress on the class teams, costs the school money, getting agency staff in, and causes resentment in class. Ooh. So basically, we've had to stop being ill. SEN school here, where students come in sneezing, coughing, and having been throwing up or with diarrhea.
Right. Even that, do you know what? Even that last bit, that person clearly felt like they need to justify it somehow. I know. They didn't even need that. Honestly, you didn't even need to tell us that there are kids that make you sick. Yeah. If you're sick, you're sick.
Oh, I didn't know, actually, that me being sick means things have to be put in place. Oh, next time I'll make sure. What do you think that's achieving?
No one's learning anything from this. It causes, oh my God, me being sick causes extra stress on other people because I'm not in doing the work. They have to make up for the fact that I'm not in?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know. I wouldn't have been sick otherwise. Like, it's just so nonsense. Big red flag. Very toxic, all of these big ones have been about control, like weird control freaks, head teachers that think they can just dominate your lives and control things that don't even make sense.
Okay.
Power.
Let me push back to you then, because we post these things online, social media. People like to say their different views, etc. I genuinely really like it when someone has a completely different view, but they're normal and post a normal comment because it's interesting to
actual
me.
discussion.
I like that. Yeah, I genuinely do. So I'm going to put this to you now as a mini discussion.
Yeah, go for it.
Because someone said, they replied to this and they said, you know what, I don't even disagree with what you're saying. So I'm going to play this role with this person now.
Okay,
I don't disagree at all with what you just said.
Yeah.
But I have worked in schools genuinely where multiple people have just completely taken advantage of the system of being sick, taking days off, and not cared about the knock-on effect it's had on me and my team, etc. consistently. And I know they've not been genuinely ill. And they've even said that, I just took a day off because I fancied it. I wanted it. I've got these things to do. And they had no kind of remorse for that and understanding. And from their point of view, fair enough. But from my point of view, as a member of this team, it's frustrating and we should crack down on actually. And these people do need to know that when they're off, it really does have that effect. And hopefully, just them seeing that will make them think twice before they do that next time.
Unfortunately, it won't. That's the answer is I get all of that.
But what if it did? For someone who went, do you know what? I will stop that. But I'm asking you now, is that enough to justify it? Like, is the fact that, let's say it does work and have that effect on the people that I'm thinking, like this person's thinking of right now, and it does genuinely affect them enough to be like, I'll stop taking the mic. I'll just win them out. Is that enough?
No, not for me. Not for me. I get it. I really do get it. And it's not like a black and white thing here. I understand that. I can see why it could be in a situation where it works the most perfect it could ever work, right? But at the end of the day, you're still throwing everyone else under the bus who doesn't do this thing and potentially making some people feel really anxious about getting sick when they shouldn't be, and genuinely all like pushing them to breaking, like, it's like employment law in my head of being like, there's things you shouldn't do in employment law. Yeah. And you're kind of skirting around it here by not saying directly, if you're sick, come into work, or you're going to be fired. That would be bad. But when we skirt around it with other like implicit things, passive things, we go, ooh, this might be all right then, because some people are taking the mick. We gave an example earlier of people taking the mick out of us. Do we break the whole system and make everyone feel punished because some people are exploiting the system? No, I don't think that in basically any walk of life. Even a long time ago, we talked about it with benefit fraud and things like that.
Yeah, sure.
Do we just scrap benefits for everyone? Because some people, no, we don't do that. There's a problem with the system. In this situation, if there was easily identifiable then in your made-up scenario, people who are clearly taking the mick and they're going on holidays, they're literally saying to other people, okay, throw them under the bus then. They're not doing you. They're horrible. They know. They're not learning anything really new here. They're just getting called out on it, and that's what's making them go, oh, maybe I'll stop then, because they're thinking I'm going to get in trouble. They already knew this before. That no one's stupid enough to not know this is like that it's going to impact other people at work.
But they might be ignorant enough to ignore it.
Maybe, and maybe that brings us to the forefront of the mind.
But then even call them out.
That's what I mean. But
individually,
still, call them out.
Yeah,
I don't care. Like, oh, they're my mate. Okay, but they're impacting your work. They're not your mate that much. If they're impacting your workload every time, tell them. If this works on a macro scale of email to everyone, telling them face to face as your mate will definitely work. Like, there's other ways to do this. You don't need to do a blanket thing across the school that makes realistically 95% of the staff just feel rubbish and feel guilty and anxious every time they're ill. For the sake of the 5% of staff who've been taking the mick. But you can go, oh, but they're not doing it anymore. It's like, yeah, they're not doing it anymore, and most of your staff now hate working here. They feel anxious.
And they're coming in ill and they're spreading their illness.
Yeah,
and more people
it's
are
getting even worse. Like, So no, long story short,
Fair enough.
it doesn't justify it. I can understand why people do it, but no, it's pretty toxic to me. And a
Fair
red
dues.
flag.
Fair dues. Couple left. Harping back to something we said previously, but clearly still it's a thing, so maybe we should post it again.
All right.
We had our adult chairs and desks removed. I had no adult chair in infants, and marking on tiny tables, I developed back and shoulder pain. Physio, etc., and health and safety rules mean where the work is responsible for your injury, you can claim. I got my chair back.
I put this one in, and I know we've sort of talked about it before, but I think it's because I was in a situation that was very, very similar to this, so I feel like I need to talk about it.
Go on.
It's crazy. I worked in a school once where, and this is probably important context, right? It wasn't even done, I don't think, maliciously.
Go on.
We had our chairs removed in favour of, it was a very arty school, and in favour of these other chairs that looked nicer and fit with the theme of the school more, but they were wooden and just less comfortable, right?
Right.
And in that, the classrooms weren't particularly big, and there just wasn't space for a desk and another teacher chair at the front, and they were just like, cool, we're just not going to use it, you can just sit at the tables and do whatever you need to do, and you've got a laptop so you can go in the staff room and work in there. That was their justification of, I think it was an oversight,
Yeah.
because firstly, it wasn't always appropriate to go into the staff room and work in a communal space.
No.
Sometimes you just needed to be in your room with your boxes of books and were doing whatever you're doing. But it was horrendous, though. It was awful for my back. So I can sympathise for this person. And I do know of other schools where it was done in a toxic way of teachers don't work hard enough and they're just lazy when they sit at their chairs. They're just lazy. Their desks just get cluttered and look horrible, and they're lazy.
Yeah.
And then they take them away. Yeah, right? And they take them away. Oh, that situation is what to me is like, that's a big red flag. It's still a red flag, I think, in any situation though.
Yeah.
If I walked into a school and they didn't have teacher desks or chairs, I'd still be like, even if you've been just really ignorant to it and you've not even realised this is awful, that's still a red flag to me. The fact that you've made that decision and thought that was all right.
I'm sorry, you're giving way too much leeway.
I am. I'm being very, very.
Anyone
generous.
who takes away teacher desks and chair is a genuine idiot. And there they are. No, they are, really.
Yeah.
They truly are. Because they can't possibly have spoken to their staff about this.
No, of course
They can't possibly have done that.
No.
So they're just doing it from a point of view of like an idealistic point of view.
Yeah.
Is that they don't like maybe the fact when they're showing people around or when they look around that they go into a classroom and sometimes some teacher sat at their desk.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's a really running theme here of almost everything we're talking about. The small con or some cons to a way of doing stuff doesn't necessarily automatically mean you should just scrap it as well.
Yeah.
You have to have nuance with everything, because what are you going to create? More issues if you change it? Well, then don't change it. Work around the cons you have. Target those. If there are some teachers out there who are in that school just sitting at their desk and not really interacting with the children, and then because of that the children aren't making as much progress and they're able to do so but they just choose not to because they'd rather sit at their desk and do marking, talk to that teacher.
Yeah.
Don't take their desk away.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah.
No, even for them.
Yeah,
even for them,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they still have a use case for a desk.
Yeah, of course.
Just because they're using it maybe in a way that isn't necessarily the best doesn't mean you take it away.
No.
Like taking a chair, what's wrong with you? I sat in my chair all the time because I just, as a teacher, knew that there are points where I definitely was stood up. I was walking around the room. You've seen me teach before. I'm very animated. I'm over the top. There's also some times where I sit down.
Yeah.
And do you know what that does? It also genuinely sends a message to the rest of the class, calm time. So I sit down. Sometimes I'll sit down, especially when they're doing some independent writing.
Yes, I was about to say that.
I'll be like, cool. Time to listen. Just sit down, relax, have a go. You've got your plan. Take your time. I sat down. It was almost like a non-verbal cue for the kids to be like, okay, this isn't Mr. Price over my shoulder. This isn't the high energy that sometimes an input is when we're going, it's time to
I'm
relax.
not going to put my hand up every 2 seconds and get his help because it's independent writing.
Yeah.
I found that as well. I think you might have showed me that. I got to the point where I had such an ED class that year that they would not do writing unless I was just like spoon feeding everything. I was like, no, like this bit is independent.
Yeah.
I had to just sit down and honestly like turn my back to them. I didn't do it the whole time, obviously, because that's ridiculous. But turn my back to them to kind of indicate like this is independent time now. Like, and then after about 20 seconds, I'd sort of turn back around sideways and think, right, they're doing it now.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, I couldn't have done that if I didn't have my my.
You could have sat down in the corner like Gollum and just turned around,
I
holding
could've
your
done.
knees. Looking around.
Yeah, could have done. So yeah, anyway, I was just sympathising with this person. That's why I left it in because it also, just to be really clear, I also got horrendous back pain from doing that.
Yeah.
And luckily I didn't stay at that school for too long. But I think it would have, like, over years,
Yeah.
genuinely been absolutely catastrophic for my physical health.
Well, your physical health's already terrible. Imagine how worse it would have been right now.
I wouldn't be able to move.
Jeez. I think you said to me every 2 weeks for about 3 years that you'd sort your physical health out.
Yeah.
When's that started?
Clues in what I'm saying. I need to. Not I'm going to right now. I need to. Just acknowledging it.
Right, go on, Hayden. Read the last one.
Last one. All right, then.
Before we read this, though, people can leave us a review if they're enjoying what they're seeing. They can share it with someone who might find it useful. We can have a laugh with your friends. Why not share this podcast around with everyone? And let's go.
Cool. One other thing they can do is they could ignore everything we've said in here and just say, these things are so negative and horrible for the job. You're
making teaching out to sound awful.
Well,
oh, am I making it out to sound awful, or are the people implementing these making it awful?
yeah.
Where should I direct my anger?
Us.
Comment
Definitely
section.
us. Definitely us. Last one then.
This doesn't happen. I've not experienced this in my time, so this can't happen. Why are you just making things up?
My favourite thing is when that person isn't even a teacher. This doesn't happen. I've not experienced this, and I'm not even in the job. It's like, mate, what is your ego? What's wrong with you?
You are not the main character.
Yeah.
All right. Your experience is not the experience of everyone ever in the whole world.
In fact, your experience is almost irrelevant. Please shut up.
Almost. Completely.
Yeah, I'm being kind. Right, last one. I wasn't allowed to stay in my classroom at break or lunch. We were rounded up. We were rounded up by the head so she could hold court in the staff room. I shit you not. They made it one of my NQT targets. A target.
I've never experienced this before. This must be made up. Oh, do you know what? I bet it's not.
Yeah, if this person's commented on this to make this up
honestly.
to get a couple of likes,
Yeah. Do you know what? Well done.
Yeah.
But do you know what? One of the biggest kind of theme of comment on it when we posted this online was people saying, "I'm disgusted by this, but not at all shocked."
Yeah.
Like that was a huge theme because this happens all the time.
Yeah.
I can genuinely imagine someone sat there going, "Oh, a target for you then. We need to make some kind of target. Don't stay in your room at break time. Don't stay in your room at lunchtime." So basically directing